It's about 20 minutes, and we'll open up the floor to questions, and I'll start with a few.
Yeah, we'll see how long it is.
Yeah, okay. So my first question is out of the two of you, who can stand a pub crawl between you and Bobby Friction?
Bobby.
Probably Bobby. He's been around a lot longer. He's taught me a lot of things. I've known him for a long time, actually. So yeah, it was good to get him on this film.
Okay. I mean, I love this movie. I mean, it's fascinating because, and also it's camera backed. I mean, just out of interest, how many people have been to the Great British Beer Festival here? Anybody? One or two. It happens in August. It's at Olympia, really great festival. So, and camera is backed and stuff. So, I mean, obviously, in terms of putting this together, I mean, how long did it take you to put this together?
A couple of years. Yeah, actually, the first meeting we had was at the Gladstone Arms, the last pub that's featured in the film. Actually, Mega is here. Applause. She's right over there.
I close to you.
She's the one who supplied me with the Negroni that I've just had. But yeah, so about 2 years. Obviously, the film is based on a book. And Camera published the book, and they were looking for someone to make the film, and they found me. So I thought, okay, well, like all good books, got to do it justice. And I was raised in Southall, obviously as you see in the film, and obviously I kind of took my own story and applied it to the film, and made it about. Not me, but like, I try to, embed my journey through these pubs and my experiences with these pubs in the film as well.
Mm-hmm. And how many DESI pubs are there? Because we only talk about Southall and the West Midlands, but how many are in the country?
Well, actually, the book is a good directory, if you like, in terms of kind of the pubs that are available and the pubs that are around. So, yeah, worth checking the book out. Also published by Camera.
Great. And obviously we saw the food and stuff there. I mean, what was your favourite dish of the ones that you had?
That's a tough question. That's a really tough question. You know what? I'd probably have to go with the garlic mogo, which is the dish that you can see at the Regency Club. In northwest London, in Queensbury. So that they have a Kenyan influence. So mogo, I think it's cassava. So they steam it. So they boil it, then they fry it. And actually, it's really good the next day. So they gave me leftovers when I was like going to shoot there and stuff. And like the next day, I would like have the cassava, like grill it, warm it up, and it was so good. I'm sure everyone's hungry right now, so am I.
Mm-hmm. And what do Camera think of the documentary?
Yeah, so we went to premiere the film at the Camera AGM in Dundee last year, and it was interesting because there was 400 people there, and I was one of 2 brown people there, right? So you can imagine the demographic of Camera, you can imagine the membership of Camera. And the film was very well received, I thought, in terms of people feeling like they hadn't seen something like that before. They hadn't heard about aspects of the story, especially around the diaspora of South Asian community in the UK and what they went through. So, yeah, I feel like it was very eye-opening for a lot of the Camera members that watched the film.
I mean, there's a tremendous link, because obviously 1981, I was a teenager at the time. I mean, I always think of the special song Ghost Town, which was #1 there, and kind of, when you reflect on the contrast between back then and how things are now, I mean, where do you feel that there is still progress to be made, and where do you think progress has been made?
Well, like I've said in the film, I think the progress needs to be made very much in the acceptance of women in these spaces. I think in terms of race, I'd like to do a film and go to some of the pubs that one of those gentlemen who spoke about, or if you went to one of these pubs, and I think it was in Tipton, I think it's north of Smethwick, when we were in one of those pubs in the West Midlands. If you go to one of those pubs, you might get stabbed up. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe let's check out these pubs, and then let's see how much has really changed, So obviously, some of the imagery and some of the themes in the film feel quite resonant. Obviously, I've been working on this film for a long time. In the past 2 years, we've seen riots in the north and all sorts of fucking stuff. So, it's a crazy time to be. You see some people doing the Nazi salute, and we've all seen that more than we should fucking need to these days. So, it's kind of crazy making a film like that, and then going through the last 2 years and be like, shit, wow, this is more relevant than I thought it was, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, one final question before I open it up to the audience. I mean, what's the strategy for the film in terms, because you're at the London Independent Film Festival, are you going to be showing it to like councils and stuff or educational people?
Well, we actually showed it at the Food and Film Society of the School of Oriental and African Studies, which actually that's a real nice notch on the belt, to be honest. So very proud of that. And they're very engaged. We showed it in the classroom to a bunch of students. So they were very much locked in and asking a bunch of cool questions. So yeah.
Okay, we're going to open to the audience. Who would like to ask a question? Lady here.
Thank you, that was so well done. It was amazing. Just the narrative that you pulled together, I was super blown away. I think just kind of following on from what you said, I feel like more people need to see this. Have you ever thought about kind of taking it to the BBC or something? It's such uncertain times. I feel like now is a great time.
Yeah, so I mean that's really kind of why we're on the film festival circuit. If anyone has any connections to anyone at Amazon Prime or Netflix, that's why we're here, right? So, no, for sure, we'd love to get some sort of distribution deal to get it into, just get it in front of more people, really. So because a lot of people have seen this film, and I'm getting a very similar kind of response, which is, oh, well, I didn't know anything about this.
You could apply it to any, subculture or kind of, I'm Polish, for example, so that. But other important question, how about, thanks, is there going to be a list of food places?
Well, yeah, so the pub is great for that. So the book is great for that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Anybody else at the back there? That guy there.
Which pub does the best mixed grill?
Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, so like there's landlady here as well. So like we really fucking put on the spot. I've already mentioned garlic mocha is. Actually, you don't do mixed grills. So you know what? Fine. Whatever. The best mixed grill. Probably the Regency Club again, actually. The food is really good there. The food is really, it's an institution. There's some and it's nice to see a contrast. Like you see, I'm just gonna drop that. You just see on one hand you've got this small modest kitchen at the Gladstone Arms with a couple of people just working in this tiny little kitchen. And then you've got an absolute unit of the kitchen at the Regency Club, like 20 people working to, feed so many people come through that through those doors on a daily basis. So I would say, they've got it down. They've got it down pretty. It's like little details, like the cast iron skewers and stuff, cooking it from the inside out. Oh, it's just, this details is hard to beat.
Okay, next question. Oh, back, yeah.
Seeing how personal you went into the film and sharing your story and your Nan's story and everything, all of this is very personal to you. kind of emotional connection did you develop through visiting all these pubs and meeting other people from the community?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because actually there was many times during the editing process where I was crying. Like I was looking at this archive footage, like from Getty Images. It was ITN footage from like this late 70s, early 80s, and yeah, it got to me. There were moments, I was crying. There were also like it was weird because I was like, I had edited these sequences, so I'm like watching it, and it's like, okay, I've really put myself into it. I'm seeing what my elders went through, and actually, fuck, this is really fucking good, actually. So like all these emotions are coming together. I'm like, wow, I fucking made something like I'm really proud of as well. So no, it's quite an emotional journey.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Next question over there.
What was your personal experience of going to British pubs, given cultural acceptance and whatnot?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Like when you went to British pubs for the first time when you were younger,
Yeah.
what was your experience of the cultural acceptance of you going to British pubs?
Well, the first British pubs I went to were in Southall, so they were used to seeing brown people. So for me, the acceptance was like there already, whether it was a DESI pub or just a pub in Southall owned by like a white guy. So it felt right. It was only when I went to I remember a random far-flung pub in like Devon or something, walked in and like within a couple of minutes I walked back out, you know what I mean? Like there's certain pubs you're just not welcome. Just like they don't greet you, they don't want you there. So you get the fuck out. But I don't see many pubs like that, to be fair. I generally feel like I'm welcomed into a lot of pubs. Maybe it's because I'm a more fair-skinned South Asian, so I don't get the same amount of racism that someone who like evidently looks like South Asian might be, because I get like random stuff, everything from like Greece to like Iran. So it's based on the individual experience.
Next question. Anybody else? Yeah, over there. Oh, we'll do you over there, okay.
From a production perspective, obviously we've seen the final cut, and I didn't keep count, but maybe 8 or 9 pubs that made the final edit. When you were researching, did you look at a whole lot more, and how easy or otherwise was it to engage with the ones that we've seen tonight?
Well, we were aware of the kind of heavyweights and kind of the main ones to go to based on what the book had done. So it gave us a good idea of, okay, this is where we want to go, this is what we want to check out. But there was also this aspect of like, well, we can kind of like, if we go on a journey, and there were some journeys that we went on and we filmed, and we just didn't, you gotta leave some stuff on the cutting room floor, unfortunately. So, sorry, what was your question again?
What was thanks. How did you get to the final edit based on, I presume, a wider range of pubs that you went and filmed and shot in and spoke with people?
Yeah, you know what? It's about characters. It's about people. So, like, for example, there was this one pub. I won't mention them, but there was just an element like the landlord wasn't very well versed in English, and as much as we enjoyed our time there, it just the interview was difficult. And it didn't allow us to feature them in the film. So, you have some challenges like that. But they're a very successful pub. in the West Midlands, but it was just but like you see characters like Bira, for example, who really opened up, spoke about his son who committed suicide. You have those really poignant moments, and that's when you know, okay, yeah, well, this you know when you're hearing it, like, okay, yeah, oh my God, I hope the camera's in focus. You know what I mean?
Okay. And we've got time for one more question, which is the person there. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what attracted you to the story initially, and how did you go about developing it into a feature doc?
Sure. So actually, camera found me through a random link in Scarborough, of all places. But yeah, I'm not sure we've got time to get into that. But when they approached me, they kind of presented this idea of like DESI Buzz, which I was already very familiar with. So for me, it was like, okay, well, I've got to really just kind of tell this from an experience that makes sense to me, because the author wasn't involved, and he was like more than willing and kind of actually insisted on kind of getting out of my way. And I was like, okay, fine, so I'm kind of on my own on this, let's see how I make this work. So I'm like, okay, like, I've got to, you've got to have someone, I thought, in this that kind of takes you on the journey, kind of a conduit, if you like. So I decided to do that. And I thought, okay, well, you kind of, if you're going to do it, you got to do it properly. So it's like, who are you? What's your story? And how does that relate to this film? So for me, developing it was like, felt and kind of like fitted quite nicely with the heavyweights of the documentary as well, like The Scotsman, having been there when I was young with my band. It kind of just, it all made sense in the end.
Okay, well, Zaki, thank you so much. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you so much.
Just wrapping up, the festival runs to the 13th of April. Great film tomorrow night, Sides of Life, and we have 2 more features alongside the shorts and other networking thing next Saturday and Sunday, No Time for Goodbye, and the closing night film is Legend Has It. Please do check out the website, liff.org, and thank you to Natasha and everybody. Big round of applause for Natasha. Do support independent films, do support the Genesis, and once again, Zaki, thank you very much, and safe journey home.
Boy, Zaki, boy!